Welcome to T1 Academy. In our previous video, we discussed about the basic concepts of the clocks. Okay, in this video, we are going to discuss about the important concept, that is when the two hands will overlap, when they will be opposite and straight line. Okay, when they are opposite and straight line, when they will be what we can say 90 degrees to each other, and all these things we will discuss in our video, in this video, students. So now see here, students, before going to the concepts or going to the problems, we will discuss the hands. When the two hands of the clock overlap, see, first of all we should know what is meant by this overlap here. What is meant by this overlap? See here, students, when we can say two hands are overlapping means what? If they are one over the other, then the two hands of the clock will overlap. When this phenomenon occurs, tell me, by our general observation. See here, for example, if the time is passing from 2 to 3, if the time is passing from 2 to 3, so initially where my hour hand will be there, my hour hand will be at 2, my hour hand will be on 2, my hour hand will be on 2. When it comes to my minute hand, it will be on 12, right? My minute hand will be on 12 and my hour hand will be at 2. So slowly, when the time passes, slowly my minute hand will approach this hour hand. Am I correct? And at some point of time, my hour hand and minute hand will be one over the other at some point of time. And then after some time, once again, both will get separated. Am I correct? Am I correct? So that means when they are overlapping, what is the angle between them? When the two hands of the clock are overlapping, what will be the angle between two hands of the clock? Then the angle between two hands of the clock will be, that is theta will be equal to 0 degrees. Overlapping case means nothing but when the two hands of the clock overlaps, then obviously that angle between them will become what? 0 degrees. Now please observe here, in every 1 hour this phenomenon occurs once, right? Like this, the two hands of the clock will overlap once in every 1 hour. But in 12 hours. So if that is the case, so what we can say is, for every 1 hour time interval, the two hands of the clock overlap for one time. But if that is the case, tell me, in 12 hours they should overlap for how many times? In 12 hours they should overlap for 12 times. But it is not going to overlap for 12 times. Why? What is the reason, sir? Means, please observe here, students, everyone have a look at this one. Now, if we are just now I told you that, okay, they will overlap for once in every 1 hour time interval. Okay, good, sir, nice. But where they will not get overlapped means, see, between 1 and 2 they will overlap for once, 2 and 3 they will overlap for once, 3 and 4, 4 and 5, 5 and 6, 6 and 7, 8 and 7, 9, and in all these time intervals they will overlap for once. But please observe here, between 11 and 1, what is the time difference, students? 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, actually it is what? 2 hours time difference, sir. Okay, good. In these 2 hours, if it is a general case, how many times they should overlap? They should overlap for twice. But they will overlap for only once between these two time intervals, that is exactly at 12 o'clock. We will have a common overlapping case between 11 and 1. That is exactly at 12 o'clock. That means we are losing one overlap case, right? Therefore, but in 12 hours, the two hands of the clock overlap for 11 times, as there is a common overlapping position between 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock, that is at 12 o'clock. That is at 12 o'clock. Because of that reason, in 12 hours, the two hands of the clock will overlap for just 11 times. So please be careful, students. They will ask this type of questions also. In 12 hours, the two hands of the clock will overlap for how many times? Means 11 times. In a day, tell me. In a day, this is very, very important, students. They may ask this one as a question. In a day, the two hands of the clock coincide or overlap. Both are same, students. Coincide or overlap. Coinciding means also meeting, or overlap for 22 times. Why? Because in a day means how many hours, students? 24 hours. In 24 hours, the two hands of the clock will coincide or overlap for how many times? 22 times. Coincide or overlap for how many times? 22 times. This is very, very important. When they overlap, what will be the angle between them? When they overlap, the angle between them, theta, will become what, students? 0 degrees. When they overlap, the angle between them, theta, becomes what? 0 degrees. Understood? Okay. Next. Why I am specially mentioning this, why this angle between two hands of the clock means, recently in one of the examinations, what they asked the question is, between 10 and 2, the two hands of clock coincide for how many times? Between 10 and 2, the two hands of clock coincide for how many times? Now tell me, we should know that generally 10 to 2, what is the time difference? 4 hours. What is the time difference? 4 hours. So what few students will think is, for every 1 hour they will coincide for one. So in 4 hours they will coincide for 4 times. That is the wrong one. Why they have chosen only the 10 to 2 time interval? We should know where we are losing that one overlapping case. Between 10 and 2. 10, 11, 12, 1 and 2. Between 10 and 2. Yes. The time difference is what? 1 hour here, 1 hour here, 1 hour here, 1 hour here. But what we know is, between 11 and 1 we will have only one coinciding point, and between 10 and 11 we will have one, between 1 and 2 we will have one. Overall, how many coinciding points we have? Only 3. So from 10 and 2, between 10 and 2, the two hands of the clock will coincide for how many times? Just 3 times. Why? What is the reason? Because of the common coinciding point. Students, please be careful with this one. If they ask in a general manner between any time intervals from here to here, that is fine. But please be careful if it is involving 11 to 1. Between 11 to 1, we will have only one coinciding point, that is exactly at 12 o'clock. So please be careful with this one. Okay, sir, why you are telling like that? Means we will check it. Proof. We will see the proof now itself. See, between 11 and 12, when the two hands of the clock coincides, let us assume the time is some 11 o'clock A minutes. 11 A minutes. 11 A, 11 10, 11 20, like that. I will assume that at 11 o'clock A minutes, the two hands of the clock will coincide. We know when they coincide, what will be the angle between them? Theta is equal to what? 0 degrees. Okay, that means what I can say? Modulus of 30 into 11. Why? Because 11, right? X is 11 minus 11A by 2. Why? Because 11 o'clock A minutes. Y and A both are same. Is equal to what? 0. If I send mod to that side, it will become what? Plus or minus. Anyway, we will get the same answer. No need to worry. When you send mod to the other side, remember students, we will get plus or minus. Am I correct or not? How you send plus to the other side becomes minus. Similarly, when you send mod to the other side becomes plus or minus. So plus or minus 0, anyway we will have 0 only, so need not to worry too much about it. So 30 into 11, it becomes what? 330 minus 11A by 2 is equal to 0. From this what I can write? 11A is equal to what, students? 11A by 2 is equal to 330. 11 ones 11, 3 zeros. So A value will become what? 60 minutes. So 11 o'clock 60 minutes means what is the time? 11 o'clock 60 minutes means the time is exactly 12 o'clock. This is how we will tell that. Why? The reason behind that is, this is the reason. While calculating, we will get 11 o'clock 60 minutes means nothing but 12 o'clock. Similarly, if you check between 12 and 1, you will not get a value. You will get a value greater than that one. So because of that reason, we are getting the answer as 11 times. So, the two hands of the clock will coincide for 11 times, and where we will lose that one time means between 11 and 1, which is at 12 o'clock. Okay, right. Now, we will see some questions based on this overlapping case. Some questions based on this overlapping case. See the first one. At what time between 7 and 8, two hands of the clock overlap? Two hands of the clock overlap. Just now I told you. When they overlap, what will be the angle between them? Theta is equal to 0 degrees. Theta is equal to 0 degrees. See, overlap, coinciding, or one over the other. These are the terms. Please observe. Overlap, coinciding, one over the other. All gives us the same meaning. In all these three cases, what will be the theta is equal to 0 degrees. Theta is equal to 0 degrees. Okay. Now, between 7 and 8 means how you will tell the time? Any time between 7 and 8, usually how you will tell? 7:10, 7:20, 7:30, 7:25, 7:45, like this, right? So, I will assume that at 7 o'clock a minutes, the two hands overlap. The two hands overlap. Okay, sir, good, superb. At 7 o'clock a minutes, the two hands overlap. So, what will be my formula for theta? Modulus of 30x minus 11y by 2 should be equal to what here? 0. When I send mod to the other side, becomes what? 0 only. Plus or minus 0. Why I am stressing on this plus or minus again and again means later we will see. There is some advantage, there is some importance for this plus or minus. When it is 0, there will be no importance, but we have importance for this plus or minus later in some other cases. Now, 30x minus 11y by 2, right? So, here x is what? 7. So, 30 into 7 minus a y is what? A. So, 11a by 2, that is equal to what? 0. That is equal to what? 0. So, overall this will become what? 210 minus 11a by 2 is equal to 0. And 11a by 2 is equal to what here? 210. See here, students, my suggestion is please always observe at this position, at this 11a by 2, this is very, very important. Here always this value should be between 0 and 360 degrees. Why? What is the reason? I will tell you when we get a value greater than 360 or less than 0 degrees. But always 11a by 2 value should be between 0 and 360 degrees. Remember this one. I will tell you why, what is the reason and what is the importance later, but make sure that 11a by 2 value should always lie between 0 and 360 degrees. 0 and 360 degrees. Now, please see here 11a by 2 is equal to 210, right? From this what I can write, students? 11a is equal to 420, a is equal to 420 by 11. A is equal to 420 by 11. 11 3s are 33. I will be left with 9 0. So, 11 8s are 88. What is the remainder? I will have 2. 2 11s are. So, that means at 7 o'clock 38 2 by 11 minutes, my two hands of the clock will overlap with each other. The two hands of the clock will overlap each other. Students, in options also you will get answer in mixed fraction only. In clocks concept, they give options also in mixed fraction. No need to worry. 7, 38, 2 by 11 will be the answer. No need to find the answers in decimals. In clocks concept, they will give in this manner only. Options also in the same way. Okay, right? And remember this one, 11a by 2. This is very, very important. Sir, if it crosses beyond 360, how we are going to do? If it comes down below 360, I mean 0 degrees, what we need to do means, please observe this one. For instance, if you get a value greater than 360 degrees, then how we need to solve? See, the total angle in a clock is what? 360 degrees, right? So, for example, if you get this value is something like this 420 degrees. Assume something like this 420 degrees. Now, if you see in a circle, circular manner, okay, I will take it in a quadrant manner. I will try to deal with it in a quadrant manner. For example, if my clock is here, if it goes a complete round, it will become what? 360 degrees. Okay, if it covers more 60 degrees, it will come to somewhere this position. And from the same 0, if it covers also the same position. So, that means can I say 420 degrees is also is equal to 60 degrees? Is it correct or not? 420 degrees is also equal to 60 degrees. Sir, how? Why? Because see, 360 means it will complete one complete round. That means it will once again come to the same position from where it started. See, anything in a circle, if it covers 360 degrees means it will come to the same position where it started. And from there, it is covering more 60 degrees means it will come to the same 420 degrees only, right? So, that means if you get a value greater than 360 here, how you will bring that down to 360 means simply, for example, if it is 420, simply subtract it from 420, 360 from 420, it becomes what? 60. So, 60 degrees or 420 degrees, both are same. Both are same. Is this correct or not? Yes, it is correct. Similarly, if you get a value less than 60, similarly, if you get a value less than 60, that means, sorry, less than 0. For example, if you get minus 60 degrees, same logic. If I do minus means what? In reverse manner. If I do minus 60 in this manner, or if I go plus 300 in this manner, anyway both are same. Both are same or not? Minus 60 is also equal to 300. I am telling minus 60 is also equal to 300 degrees. How? 360 minus 60. What it is? 300. So, that is how. So, if you get a negative value, subtract that negative value from 360. So, 360 minus 60, it will become what? 300. If you get a value greater than 360 means subtract 360 from that value. Something like this, 420 minus 360, it will become 60 degrees. Why? Because anyway in a circular manner, minus 60 or 300 both are same, and similarly 420 and 60 both are same. Okay, we came to know, but what is the reason? I will tell you later in our next questions. Now see here, at what time between 2 and 3 the two hands of the clock coincide, right? So, what is the concept we know? Between 2 and 3 means 2 o'clock a minutes and theta is equal to 0 degrees. Okay, sir, good. Now, see here what you will write, 2 into 30 minus 11a by 2 is equal to 0, right? Good, sir. So, 11a by 2 will become what here? 60 for me. It is between 0 and 360 degrees. Yes, it is fine. So, 11a by 2, 11a value will become what? 120. A value becomes what for me here? 120 by 11. A value will become what for me here? 120 by 11. Now, please observe here, students, what you are going to get here. What you are going to get? 10 by 11 minutes. 10 by 11 minutes. 10 by 11 minutes. Now, I will tell you one more example for better understanding of the concept. Between 10 and 11, if I ask the same time, between 10 and 11, the two hands of the clock coincide for what time? What we will do, students? We will take the time as 10 o'clock a minutes, right? And what we will do? As usual, the same formula. So, 10 into 30 minus 11a by 2, that is equal to 0 degrees. That is equal to 0 degrees. So, now what happens here for me? 11a by 2 is equal to 300. Between 0 and 360 degrees, fine. So, 11a will become what for me here? 600. So, a value will become what? 600 by 11. So, 5, when you will get 50 means 54, what you will get? 6 by 11 minutes. That means, at 10 o'clock 54, 6 by 11 minutes, the two hands of the clock coincides. The two hands of the clock coincides. See, in most of these cases, you will never cross 360. But why I told you about that 360 means, later we will see in our next case. Why? What is the reason behind that and everything we will see in our next question, next case. Now, the next case is two hands of the clock are opposite and straight line. See, overlap means also both the hands are in straight line, right? Am I correct or not? Overlapping means also both the hands of the clock are in straight line. Now, opposite and straight line. Opposite and straight line means what? Now, tell me what will be the angle between them? Theta is equal to 180 degrees. Theta is equal to what? 180 degrees. Theta is equal to what? 180 degrees. Now, see here, similar case, similar to our overlap. This one also, between, for example, the time is between 3 and 4. 3 and 4. So, what happens? Initially, my hour hand will be on 3. My minute hand will be on 12. When the time passes, slowly my hour hand will approach minute hand and overlaps and then gets separated, right? and then get separated, and then at some point of time they will be exactly opposite to each other, something like this. They will be exact. So this phenomenon also occurs once in every 1 hour, similar to our overlapping case. This phenomenon also occurs once in every 1 hour. So in 12 hours it should happen for how many times? In 12 hours it should happen for 12 times, sir. But how we have exception in the overlap case? Here also we have one more exception. What is that exception? Means between 5 and 7. Between 5 and 7. Where we'll have that exception means between 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock. Actually, what is the time difference between 5 and 7, students? The time difference between 5 and 7 is 2 hours. 2 hours. But we will have a common straight line point that is exactly at 6 o'clock. We will have a common straight line point that is exactly at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock both the hands will be in a straight line, right? So because of that reason we are losing one overlap, opposite and straight line case, exactly opposite case or else exactly opposite case. So we will have only 11 times. So in 12 hours the two hands of the clock will be exactly opposite to each other for just 11 times. Okay. So the same thing, write down. For every 1 hour interval, 1 hour time interval, the two hands of the clock are opposite to each other for once, but in 12 hours they will be opposite to each other for 11 times, as there is a common opposite case between 5 and 7, that is at 6 o'clock. Because of that reason, this opposite phenomenon, exactly opposite to each other case will occur for only 11 times. So now tell me, in a day this phenomenon occurs for how many times? In a day this case occurs for 22 times. See here, students, there will be a logic here. Please be careful. In a day it will occur for 22 times. Okay. Now listen the question carefully and try to tell me the answer for this one. Generally, the two hands of the clock will be in a straight line for how many times in a day? Straight line means what, students? Both the cases will come under straight line. What it is? Our overlap case will comes under straight line and our exactly opposite case also comes under straight line. Please be careful. Overlap and exactly opposite both comes under straight line. If he uses only, simply says that in a day the two hands of the clock are in straight line for how many times, means we should consider both our overlap as well as exactly opposite. So overlap is 22 times, exactly opposite is also 22 times. So in a day the two hands of the clock will be in straight line for how many times? 44 times. In straight line for how many times? 44 times. If he uses the word overlaps for how many times, means 22 times. Exactly opposite means 22 times. If he uses only straight line means what? 44 times. Sometimes he will say that overlap and straight line 22 times. Opposite and straight line means also 22 times. Only straight line means 44 times. So please read the question carefully and then only answer. Understood? This is very, very important. This one is very, very important. They may ask us questions from this area. Now, when they are exactly opposite to each other, then what will be the angle between them, students? 180 degrees. Exactly opposite to each other, angle between them will become 180 degrees. Now we will see some questions based on this one. Okay. Now we will see the questions. Now see here, at what time between 9 and 10, the two hands of the clock are opposite to each other. Between 9 and 10, the two hands of the clock are opposite to each other. When they are opposite to each other, what will be the theta between them? 180 degrees, sir. Theta between them will become what? 180 degrees. Okay, good, superb. So now what will happen here, students? Please observe carefully here. This is very, very important. So we know that 9 and 10 means how you will take the time? 9 o'clock A minutes. 9 o'clock A minutes. So what you will write? Theta is equal to modulus of 30 into 9, 30x, right? Minus 11y by 2. Here y is A. So 11 into A by 2. That is equal to what? 180 degrees. That is equal to what? 180 degrees. Now listen here, students. When you send mod to the other side, it will become what? Plus or minus 180. Plus or minus 180. Now please observe here, students. This is the reason I told you why 11a by 2 should be between 0 and 360 degrees. For this reason only. Now I will take one time plus 180, one time minus 180, and I will observe what will happen. See here, 39s are 270 minus 11a by 2 is equal to, I will take plus 180, and similarly 270 minus 11a by 2 is equal to minus 180. Minus 180. Now in this case I will send 11a by 2 that side and 182 to this side. What will happen, students? See here, 270 minus 180 is equal to 11a by 2, right? So this will become what? 90 is equal to 11a by 2. 11a by 2 is between 0 and 360 degrees. Fine, no problem at all. Now see here, 11a value will become 180. A value will become what? 180 by 11. 180 by 11. 180 by 11, what it becomes, students? Generally, 180 by 11, 11 ones, 11, and 0 times is 0. I will be left with what now? 11 ones is 11. I will be left with 7 and 0. 11 6 are 66. More I will be left with 4. So 4 by 11. So 11 o'clock 16 4 by 11 minutes. Sorry, 9 o'clock 16 4 by 11 minutes. The two hands of the clock will be exactly opposite to each other. Okay, there is no problem in this side. Now please we will check this one. What will happen when I send 11a by 2 that side and 182 to this side? What will happen? See here, students. 11a by 2 will become what? 270 plus 180. 270 plus 180. It becomes what? 430. Now this is a value which is greater than 360 degrees. For time being, we will not make any changes and we will observe what will happen if I go with 430. Now what will happen? See here, students. 11a value will become what? 860. 11a value will become what? 860. A value will become what for me here? Tell me. 860 by 11. A value will become what? 860 by 11. If I cancel it, 11 7s are 77. I will be left with 9. 9 0 means 11 8s are 2 by 11. See here, students. 9 o'clock 78 2 by 11 minutes. Between 9 and 10, will we have 78 minutes? The maximum time difference between any 1 hour is what? 60 minutes. But what is the answer I got here? 78 2 by 11. Which is not at all possible in the given time. Because of that reason, why we need to make sure that this should be between 0 and 360 degrees. Because of this reason, I should make sure that this time difference 11a by 2 should be between 0 and 360 degrees. That is the reason we will write. Now tell me what 430 will become here, students? 430 becomes what? 430 minus 360. It is what? 70 degrees. So now what happens to this one? 11a by 2 is equal to 70 degrees. 430 degrees or 70 degrees, both are same. Right? So what is the mistake we have done here? When I send it becomes 450. It is becoming 450, not 430, 450. 270 plus 180, it becomes 450. So 450 minus 360, what it becomes? 90 degrees. It is 90 degrees. So now 11a value will become what? 180 degrees. A value will become what? 180 by 11. 180 by 11. So what it is? As usual, 16 4 by 11 minutes. Now please see here, students. Same answer, 16 4 by 11, 16 4 by 11. So between 180 degrees, you can go with the plus 180 or minus 180. It doesn't matter. Go with any value which you like. Okay. No need to worry, sir. Here I actually, when I send mod to the other side, I will get plus or minus 180. There is a chance of getting two answers. No. Whether you take plus 180 or minus 180, you will get the same answer. If you keep this thing in your mind, 0 to 360 degrees should be there definitely, then you will get the same answer. So, in examination solve and take any one value and go with that one, whether it is plus 180 or minus 180, no problem, no problem at all. Okay, anyway, we will get the same answer. Now, see the next one, between 3 and 4, between 3 and 4, as usual, what will the time we will take? 30 into 3 minus 11a by 2 is equal to 180 degrees. Okay, now I will do the same thing. I will go with plus 180. For instance, what it becomes? 90 minus 11a by 2 will become what? 180. I will go with plus 180. We will see. If I send this 11a by 2 to that side and 180 to this side, it will become what? 11a by 2 is equal to minus 90, right? Why? Because when I send plus 180 to this side, it will become what? Minus 180. 90 minus 180, it will become minus 90. Just now I told you, this value should be what? Between 0 and 360 degrees. Then how, sir? Then how we are going to convert this one? Means minus 90 degrees means how I can write this one? 360 minus 90. 360 minus 90, what it becomes? 270. 360 minus 90, what it becomes? 270. So, that means if you revolve in clockwise direction 270 degrees, or if you revolve in minus 90 degrees, you will come to the same position. You will come to the same position. So, that is the reason. So, now 11a by 2 value will become what? 270. I am converting minus 90 to writing it as 270. Why? Because minus 90 and 270 both are same. Now, what happens to my 11a? It becomes 540, and a value will become what here, students? 540 by 11. 540 by 11. So, now 11 4s are 44. I will be left with 10. 11 9s are 99. So, 111. So, that means at 3 o'clock 49 1 by 11 minutes, two hands of the clock will be in a straight line and opposite manner. Opposite and straight line. Two hands of the clock will be exactly opposite to each other. Understood, students? That is the reason this 11a by 2 case is very, very important in these clocks. Definitely make sure that this 11a by 2 value will be always from the range 0 to 360 degrees. If it is beyond 360, bring that back to 360. If it is less than 0 degrees, still then bring up to 0 to 360 degrees. But the concept remains the same. The concept remains the same. Understood? This is the 0 degrees and 180 degrees. Now, next important understanding is right angles except 0 degrees and 180 degrees. Remember this one, students. Except 0 degrees and 180 degrees, all the remaining angles occurs twice in every 1 hour difference. Every 1 hour difference. Sir, how? How they will occur twice? They are occurring for only once, but how these are occurring? All the remaining angles are occurring twice means, please observe here, students. Now, if the time is some between 3 and 4, if the time is between 3 and 4, right? Now, my hour minute hand initially will be on 12 and my hour hand will be on 3. Slowly, what happens is, my minute hand will approach 3 and then later it will get separated from hour hand. Slowly it will, at some point, my hour hand and minute hand will overlap and later it will get separated. So, before overlapping, please observe here, students. Before overlapping, it will be at some point of time 1 degree, right? And after overlapping also, it will form one more 1 degree angle. And before overlapping, it will form a 2 degree angle, and after overlapping also it will form the same 2 degree angle. Before overlapping 3 degrees, after overlapping 3 degrees. That means all the angles, when it comes to 0 and 180, they are the fixed one, right? Overlapping only for once, exactly opposite is also for only once. But except 0 degrees and all the remaining angles means what? 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, 4 degree, 5 degree. All the remaining angles occurs what? They will occur twice in every 1 hour. One is before overlapping and the other one is after overlapping. Understood? And sometimes both the angles may form before overlapping also. For your understanding, I am telling that one will occur before overlapping, one will occur after overlapping. But sometimes what happens is, especially if the time is from 10 to 11 or something, 11 and 12 or 10 to 11, there is a high chance that before overlapping itself, both the angles will occur twice. Okay. Just remember, in every 1 hour, all the remaining angles except 0 degrees and 180 degrees, all the remaining angles occurs twice. Okay, sir. All the remaining angles occurs twice. Fine, well and good. Now, right angles means what, students? Theta value will be equal to what? 90 degrees. Sir, except 0 and 180 degrees, you said that all the angles will occur twice in every 1 hour. So, this right angles also, the two hands of the clock also will be in two times for every 1 hour. Yes, this also occurs twice in every 1 hour. That means in 12 hours you should get how many right angles? In 12 hours you should get 24 right angles, right, in general. But how we have exceptions in our previous cases, here also we have the exception, students. What are those exceptions? Please observe this one. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. How we have the exceptions in our previous case? Similarly, here also we have the exceptions. What are those exceptions, sir? Now, please see here, students. Between 11 and 2, 2 times. 1 and 2, 2 times. This one 2 times, 2 times, 2 times, 2 times, 2 times, 2 times. But please observe from 2 to 4. What is the time difference from 2 and 4, students? The time difference between 2 and 4 is 2 hours. Between 10 and 8, what is the time difference? 2 hours. That means you should get 4 right angles here, 4 right angles here. But we will get only 3 right angles each. How? We will get 1 right angle between 2 and 4. Sorry, 2 and 3, we will get only 1 right angle between 3 and 4. We will have a common right angle at 3 o'clock. Because of that reason, we will lose 1 right angle here. Similarly, between 8 and 9, we will get 1 right angle. Between 9 and 10, we will get 1 right angle. Exactly at 9 o'clock, we will have 1 more common right angle. Because of that reason, we will have only 3 right angles here, 3 right angles here. So, we are losing 1 here and 1 here. Overall, we are losing how many in 12 hours? 2. So, in 12 hours, the two hands of the clock will be in right angle for how many times? 22 times. Okay. Therefore, in 12 hours, the two hands of the clock will be in right angles for 22 times. Why? What is the reason? We are losing 1 right angle here and here. Now tell me, in a day they will be in right angle for how many times? In a day they will be in right angles for 44 times. In a day they will be in right angle for how many times? 44 times. So students, please remember this number of times. Why? Because in some competitive examinations they are asking this number directly. Okay, that overlapping case or coinciding, overlapping or coinciding, exactly opposite, or straight line and not together. Straight line and not together means what? Opposite case only. Okay, and this 90 degrees case, and I already told you straight line means you should consider both overlapping and exactly opposite. So, please try to observe all these numbers carefully. Why? Because there is a high chance of asking questions from this area. Okay. So, you should definitely have an idea about these things, then only you can answer, else it will not be possible to get the answer. So, means the thing is you will simply miss the things, right. Next one. Now, see here, at what time between 10 and 11 the two hands of the clock are in right angles, between 10 and 11 I should tell the two hands. See, obviously you will get 2 times. Why? Because they will be coinciding for they will be in right angles for 2 times. So, that means theta is equal to what here, students? 90 degrees. Right angles means we already know theta is equal to 90 degrees. So, 10 and 11 means how you will write the time? 10 o'clock A minutes. So, as usual we know how to write what it is. 10 into 30 minus 11A by 2 is equal to what? 90 degrees. Now, here the importance of mod when you send to the other side plus or minus will be there. So, that is the reason I am stressing from the beginning, when you send mod to the other side it will become plus or minus. So, now what happens here? 300 minus 11A by 2 is equal to 90 degrees. I will take plus 90 one case, and 300 minus 11A by 2 is equal to minus 90 the other one. Here we will get 2 different answers and both the answers are correct. Why? Because 90 degrees occurs twice in every 1 hour. Okay, so now what happens here, students? When I send 11a by 2 that side and 92 to this side, it will become 11a by 2 is equal to 210. 11a by 2 value is between 0 and 360 degrees, fine, no need to disturb anything. So what happens to my 11a here? 420. So a value will become what here? 420 by 11. So 11 3s are 33. I will be left with 9 and 0. 90 means 11 8s are 88. So I will be left with 2. So 38 2 by 11 minutes. That means at 10:38 2 by 11 minutes, the two hands of the clock will coincide with will be in 90 degrees or will be in right angles. And next one, when I send this one to this side and that 90 to this side will become what? 11a by 2 will become what? 390. Please be careful, students. 390 means it is beyond 360. So how you will write this one? 390 minus 360. This will become what? It will become 30 degrees. So here 11a by 2 value will become 30 degrees. 11a by 2 value becomes 30 degrees. So please be careful with this one. So here a value will become 60 by 11. That is 5 by 11 minutes. See here, students. Before overlapping itself, the two right angles are forming. That is the reason I told you that it will not happen all the times that one will be formed before and one will be formed after. There are some exceptional cases like this only. Okay, that is the reason I told you all the times it will not happen. Sometimes it may or sometimes it may not happen. So both the times are correct. So 10:38 2 by 11 minutes, it will be in right angle. 10 5 by 11 minutes, the two hands will be in right angles. So definitely you should consider both plus 90 and minus 90 and you will get two different answers and both are correct. In examination also they will give you both the times. Okay, right. Next one. At what time between 5:30 and 6 will the hands of the clock will be in right angles? See here, even though the question is from 5:30 to 6, we will consider it as 5 and 6. We will solve it initially and then anyway we will get two times, right? And whatever the time which falls between 5:30 and 6, we will write that as our answer here. That's it. That is the only difference. So here theta is equal to what? 90 degrees. So how you will write 5 and 6 means 5 o'clock a minutes. 5 o'clock a minutes. So what happens here? Modulus of 5 into 30 minus 11a by 2 is equal to 90. So what you will write? 150 minus 11a by 2 is equal to 90 is one case, and similarly 150 minus 11a by 2 is equal to minus 90 is the other one. Okay, plus 90 and minus 90. We should consider both the cases. So when I send 11a by 2 to that side and 90 to this side will become what? 11a by 2 is equal to 60. Why? Because minus 90, it will become 60. So a value will become what here? 120 by 11. 120 by 11 means what, students? Very simple. 10 by 11 minutes. But is it falling from between 5:30 and 6? No. This is correct, but this is not our required answer. This is correct, but this is not our required answer. Now solve this one, we will get our required answer. Now when I send 11a by 2 to that side and minus 90 to this side will become what? 11a by 2 is equal to 240. So a value will become what? 480 by 11. 480 by 11 means 43 7 by 11 minutes. That means at 5 o'clock 43 7 by 11 minutes, the two hands will be in right angles. Anyway, our time is what? Time frame is from 5:30 to 6 o'clock. So our answer here becomes 43 7 by 11 minutes. 43 7 by 11 minutes. 5:43 7 by 11 minutes. We will mark this one as our answer. This one as our answer. Understood? This is the case of 90 degrees. So based on the question, we will write our final answer. But the process remains the same. Remember, again and again I am telling 11a by 2 value is very, very important. Most of the students don't know these things and they will get different answers and they will get confused here. So 11a by 2 value should be always between 0 and 360. Next one. At what time between 3 and 4 the hands of the clock are 12 minutes apart each other? Sir, till now we discussed only about angles. What is this 12 minutes apart each other? 12 minutes apart each other means 12 minutes means how many degrees, students? 12 minutes means how many degrees? We know total 360 degrees is divided into how many minutes? 60 minutes. That means 1 minute is equal to how many degrees? 6 degrees. So 1 minute is equal to what? We know it is equal to 6 degrees. Now they are telling 12 minutes. 12 minutes means what? 12 into 6. This will become what? 72 degrees. That means the angle between two hands of the clock should be equal to 70 degrees. 72 degrees. That means indirectly theta value should be what? 72 degrees. As we have already discussed, except 0 degrees and 180 degrees, all the remaining angles occurs twice. We know it. Now, between 3 and 4 means how you will tell the time? 3 o'clock a minutes. And theta is equal to what? 72 degrees. Theta is equal to what? 72 degrees. The same logic which we have solved till now. Modulus of 3 into 30. Why? Because 3 o'clock. Minus 11a by 2 is equal to what? 72. Why? Because theta is 72 degrees. Now, what will happen here? 90 minus 11a by 2 is equal to 72. And similarly, 90 minus 11a by 2 is equal to minus 72. We should consider both the things, both the times. Now, what will happen here, students? When I send 11a by 2 that side and 72 to this side will become what? 90 minus 72. What is 90 minus 72, students? 18. So, a value will become what? 36 by 11. So, it will become 3 by 11 minutes. 3 by 11 minutes. So, that means 3 o'clock, 3 by 11 minutes. The two hands of the clock will be 12 minutes apart each other. And next time, if I send 11a by 2 to that side and that 72 to this side, it will become what? 11a by 2 will become what? 162. 162. So, what happens to a in this case? 162 into 2, it becomes what, students? 364 by 11. 364 by 11. So, that means it will become 3 times is 33. I will be left with 3, 4. Once again 3 times I will be left with 1. So, that means at 3 o'clock 3 by 11 minutes it will be 12 minutes apart, and at 3 o'clock 33 1 by 11 minutes also it will be at the same difference. Okay, so this is how we are going to solve the questions based on angle between the two hands of the clock, when they overlap, when they will be opposite to each other, when they will be in 90 degrees, or else when they will be in some other degrees. Whatever it may be, this is the procedure and concept by which we are going to solve the problems. So, in our next video, students, we are going to discuss about the fast moving and slow moving. Why? What is the reason behind that fast moving and what is the reason behind the slow moving and everything in our next video. Thank you very much.